Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Saturday, June 28th, 2025. So, on this very pleasant Saturday,
Yes,
did you do the crossword?
I did.
And do you find it to be a very pleasant crossword?
Well, I wouldn't call it that exactly. Pleasant doesn't come to mind.
Okay.
So,
What does come to mind?
you don't want to know. No. Actually, I found it very difficult.
Oh,
Very difficult. But every corner there was something I didn't know, and I kept working with it, and then I'd get it, and then it was just that feeling of satisfaction, like yes, I got that
Right.
corner. And then I'd move on to the next corner, and it'd be like the same thing. There was never any part of this puzzle that just was like, oh yeah, this, and get it all filled out pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I just struggled in every corner and in the middle. But once I got it, oh man, that was such a satisfying feeling. So, I did get it done, but it took me a long time.
Well, there were quite a few clues that if you didn't know them, you were going to be in trouble.
Yes.
For example, one across the fire-breathing antagonist of Mario in the Mario universe was Bowser.
Yes,
And then 16 down occupied a large swathe in the center, turtle-shelled flunky of one across, that one across being Bowser, and that was Koopa Troopa.
Right.
Which is a great name. It's just fun to say.
Yes, Koopa Troopa.
But it reminds me of the ABBA song, right? Super Trooper. I think that's how it goes.
Oh,
And but if you didn't know those, I mean, that would leave a big hole.
right.
And of course, Bowser was one across, so it meant that all the downs were going to be more difficult.
Exactly. Yes, and I didn't know those offhand, but as I got more letters, I'm not a gamer. I don't do gaming. And but our children are all big gamers, and so sometimes I would kind of watch them as they would be playing Mario Brothers, which they love to play. And so when I got the B finally and the W, I think it's Bowser. And then with the one on the side, I got like the K and O, and I'm like, oh, I remember that's Koopa Troopa. So I didn't know them at the beginning, but as I got more letters, they kind of came to mind just from my association with people who do gaming and who love Mario Brothers.
Right. Well, I mean, the trouble is if you watch them playing, they may not be announcing the name of the characters as they're engaging.
No, but they would tell me. They like to explain it. So. Yeah.
Well, it was Koopa Super. Let me try that one more time. Koopa Troopa. But that last letter, which turned out to be an A, was because of 45 across. Sweet Wine of California. And at first I'm like, I have no idea.
No, me either.
It turned out to be Angelica.
Yes.
I wonder if that's tying into Los Angeles.
No, I doubt it, because that's not wine country down in Los Angeles.
No, but if they needed a name, they... But in any event, it was either going to be Angelica or Angelice.
Yeah.
And I thought, Angelice does not sound like the sort of name you want to associate with a sweet wine.
No.
Here, have some Angelice.
Not even close.
So that's...
And that corner was where I ended up. That, to me, was the hardest corner, because I didn't know that wine. And 34 across, Sap Sucker. And I had the ID. I thought, I think it's aphid. It looks like it's aphid. But
right.
I didn't get any of the other, clues going down with the A and the P and the H. So I put that in and took it out and put it in. And I thought, I'm pretty sure that's why you don't want aphids in your garden, because they suck out the juice from the plants. And so I eventually put it in, and I got a few of the other ones way over, kind of more toward the middle. That would, were kind of the ending part of the Angelica answer, and slowly but surely it all started to fit together. But boy, I worked really hard in that corner.
Well, even to get those I's and D's were hard, because 27 down, not needing elaboration, was tacit.
Yes.
Boy, I was so sure that was going to be clear.
Oh,
And on a Monday or a Tuesday, that would have been clear. But here it was clearly not a Saturday. This clearly was a Saturday, and so it was tacit.
yes. Well, and the D was with 24 down. Leaves mixed up. I'm like, oh, that's got to be salad. So.
Oh, really? See,
Yeah.
because I thought it was going to be piles.
Oh.
And the L was correct.
Yes.
But you're right, salad. And so once I had the ID, I went for aphid, and I didn't waver.
Oh.
It's like that's the only thing I could possibly think of.
Yes.
And then the ones going down, the A was part of you made it at last,
Yes.
which is good. And then let's see, 35 down, chop chop. So I wanted that to be dicing.
Oh, yes. But no, it was pronto.
It was
means
pronto.
Go fast.
Yeah, I know but I'm not used to people saying that chop chop.
No. It's kind of rude when you think about it. Yeah, and then 36 down was took too much of, which could be a lot of things. I wanted it to be OD'd on.
Right. Oh, yes.
But it turned out to be hogged.
Yeah.
Because then you'd have an OID at the, and I thought, well, maybe that would be a good ending for the sapsucker. I didn't know what that was. So anyway, yeah, that was hard. And then 40 across, crushing in a way. Moony. I've never heard that word. Moony.
Moony, when you're moony, you're sort of like you're madly in love with someone. You know, you've got like moon-like eyes, sort of.
Well, yeah, I kind of can see the relation there, but crushing, I guess.
Well, crushing means
like you're having a crush.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that one was that one was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, but I really hadn't heard that word, moony.
Well,
I heard, moon over someone.
right, and that's what they mean, moony, to be
Yeah.
mooning over someone, to be crushing. I mean, it's, the English language is malleable.
That's true.
33 down was, how about that one? Most likely to succeed, question mark, soonest.
Yes, yes, I did not know that either.
Yeah, that was sort of weird. I think it's the succeed is in the one to follow, and the one to follow would be the one who arrived the soonest. I believe that's the interpretation.
Yeah. Yep.
In the top right corner, there were some interesting words. Answers. Exercise with Yang and Wu styles was Tai Chi.
Right.
I just put that in as a total guess.
Me too.
And it was right.
Yes.
That surprised me.
It worked. Thank goodness.
And let's see, we had 2 down. Actually, this is top left. Light winds, ocarinas.
Right. That took me forever.
And then 16 across, shot. And the answer was kablooey.
Yes.
Boy, I had to work really hard to figure out how to spell kablooey.
Oh,
Because at first I wanted it to be I-E, and then I wanted it to be E-E, but it was E-Y.
Right.
And you needed the Y because 12 down, depictions of Arcadia idylls.
Yes.
That was not easy at all.
11 down was in brackets, I'm so mischievous. And so I put heh.
Hey, so did I.
But it was he.
Yes.
So.
Listeners, you should know that Gene and I solve these crosswords independently and meet here on the podcast to talk about how we did. So, but
yeah, you needed that E for kablooey.
Yes.
So.
Well, I didn't because I was going to spell it I-E. Well, actually, that would have been hey.
Yes.
Yeah, I was sort of flailing about there. And then pretty much underneath that, Hungarian has 18 of them, 25 across, was cases.
Yes.
At one point, I had dashes, and I thought, I don't know why they had 18 different dashes.
Yeah.
There's like the short dash and the long dash in English, well, at least in typography. But the problem was with 25 down, hands over. I thought that was going to be deeds.
Oh.
And so, you deed
something.
Right. Although I've never, hearing it as hands over deeds sounded a little off. And that meant so I had DAS, so I thought, well, it's got to be dashes. Ignoring the fact that that's not how you spell dashes.
No, that's right.
It would be DASHES.
Yes.
But I just wrote DASHS and was content until I wasn't. And it turned out the 25 down hands over was seeds, CEDES.
Another one for me that was a long time coming was 26 across. Deer stalking aid. Santa tracker.
Yes.
That was like, oh, that was so good when I finally figured that one out. Oh, of course. Santa
That was
tracker.
Well, I don't know if I'd ever say "of course" for that answer with that clue, but
Well, it made sense to me.
at least they had 29 across. Shook hands, say, sealed the deal.
Right.
That wasn't too hard. And then 32 across, they focus on subjects of interest, camera lenses.
Yeah, that was a great clue.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
And not too difficult. The ones that I found the most difficult were the ones where you needed specific domain knowledge of Mario Brothers, for the most part. I think that was the most. Those, but ones like seal the deal and camera lenses, those are good. They're great sort of punny clues, but they don't require you have done this particular thing in your life.
Right. Yes.
We had 24 across. Full of dense fog was soupy.
Yep.
I sort of like that. And 30 down, let's see, that was record qualifier, asterisk.
Yes.
I think we've seen that before. I'm pretty sure, because I was somehow sort of ready for that. I was not ready for 47 across, big name in power ballads. I'm like, no idea.
I thought Adele, but it didn't fit.
I couldn't think of any, I was trying to think of some old rocker who would have like power chords, but this is power ballads.
Neil Diamond. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking like someone out of, I don't know, Journey or, some band that just had massive guitar as bits. But this was Celine.
Celine Dion.
Right. Would you say that she was a big name in power ballads?
I think probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really know a lot of her work, but, she did that one for Titanic. That was such a huge hit. Theme from Titanic.
I missed that.
That's really about the only one I know, power ballad that she's famous for.
47 down, it can keep the beat in brief, sort of going along with power ballads, but it wasn't because it was CPR.
Yep.
That was cute. Yes, this was a very good crossword. 42 across, boy, I had trouble with this. Enter into a spreadsheet, log.
Yes.
I was like, all I could think of was add.
Oh, I put key, like you key in.
Oh, that's much better than add.
But yeah, that didn't work. Didn't work very well.
But it was
log.
It was log. Yeah, lots of great clues here. One more, and then we'll wrap it up. 14 down, midsummer head decorations, daisy chains.
Yep.
I wanted to be something with hats.
Oh, no, I knew that one.
Well, we could spend, a lot more time on this because there were some great clues here. This was by Jesse Guzman, his third, and apparently his fourth is going to be coming out soon.
Yeah, that's
he's
what
done
I said it worked like.
Yeah, he's done a Thursday, Friday, and a Saturday now. So, nice job.
Very good, Jesse.
All right, that is it for today's crossword, but it is Saturday, which means it's time for Jam Katwa, the Gene and Mike Crossword of the Week Award. And this week we have picked
Wednesday's Puzzle by Ben Zimmer and Zach Sherwin.
Okay.
It was a rebus, and I'm not want to give rebuses the Jamcopter, but this one was so good that we had to give it to them.
Absolutely.
Yes, the rebus in this puzzle involved 4 different squares where you had to put both an A and a C in the square in order to answer both the across and the down. And the revealer made it all the more clever because that was 58 across. Incentive to stay indoors on a sweltering day informally, or a hint to the 4 squares in this puzzle. And that was Central AC. And it definitely was Central AC because all of the AC rebuses were right smack in the middle of the answers, going both across and down.
Yes.
So they were definitely central.
Yeah.
Amazing. It was just an amazing puzzle.
Yep.
So we give it to Wednesday.
All right, Wednesday. Well done, Ben and Zach. If you feel so inclined, drop us a line, crosswordpodcast at iCloud.com, or you could click on the send fan mail link and let us know your shirt size and a mailing address. And we will have your Jamcotwa certificate, some Northeast Wisconsin swag, can't find it anywhere else, and a t-shirt.
Yep.
Winging its way towards you in no time at all.
Both of you.
Yeah, both of you. Yes, right. Yeah, we'll need both shirt sizes and both addresses.
Yep.
That is it for today then. So thanks everyone for listening.
Yes.
Really appreciate you being our listeners.
Yes.
We will be back again with our cutting edge analysis of tomorrow's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.